It's tarot time.
The mail cart tipped first. Then the letters scattered across Magnolia Street like frightened birds. And Calvin Brooks, who had delivered mail on that block for 30 years, collapsed beside them. For a moment, no one noticed. Garage doors closed, porch lights blinked on, curtains stayed still. 20 houses stood along Magnolia Street, 20 families, 20 separate lives. Neighbors who shared a street, but not a life. Magnolia Street had been like that for years. People waved politely while collecting their mail, then disappeared behind closed doors. Garages opened and shut like blinking eyes. Children played in separate yards. Delivery trucks came and went. Calvin knew every address on that block. At 58, he had spent 3 decades walking Magnolia Street as a mail carrier. He knew who received magazines, who got final notices, who opened thick pastel birthday cards every June. He knew which houses received college acceptance letters and which ones received hospital bills. But he didn't know the people. Sometimes he wondered how that could be possible.
30 years. 30 years. And I couldn't tell you what half these folks laugh about.
He said it quietly, like a confession the wind might carry away. That afternoon, the heat pressed down like a heavy hand. The sidewalk shimmered. Even the cicadas sounded tired. Calvin kept walking. 2 more houses, he told himself. Just 2 more. But halfway to the Patel house, the world tilted. The first person to see him was Amara Patel, pulling into her driveway after a long hospital shift. She slammed the car door and ran.
Sir! Can you hear me?
His eyes fluttered open.
Just heat.
Her nurse instincts kicked in immediately.
Luis, can you bring water?
Luis Ortega appeared from his garage, wiping grease from his hands.
What happened?
Heat exhaustion. Water, quick.
Within minutes, Magnolia Street began to stir. Mrs. Chen shuffled from her porch with a folding chair. A teenager ran for ice. Someone called an ambulance. For the first time in years, people stood together in the middle of the street. Calvin blinked up at the small crowd forming around him. Faces he recognized, names he didn't. He laughed weakly.
Wow, look at that.
Amara leaned closer.
What?
30 years delivering mail here.
He looked around at the neighbors gathered together.
First time I've seen everyone in one place.
The words hung there. No one knew quite how to respond. But something shifted in the silence. The ambulance came and went. Calvin was fine, just dehydration and stubbornness, the doctor said. But Amara couldn't shake the feeling that Magnolia Street had been given a strange kind of warning. Not about health, about distance. The following weekend, she taped a piece of poster board to a streetlight. Block party. Saturday. Everyone brings something. No one spoke about it all week, but on Saturday afternoon, the first sign appeared. Louise rolled a grill into the street. Then someone brought folding tables. Mrs. Chen opened her porch and pushed her old upright piano toward the edge of the steps. Children appeared with chalk, turning the asphalt into a wild explosion of colors. Rainbows, hearts, smiling suns. Food began arriving from every direction. Tamales wrapped in foil, spring rolls stacked in bamboo trays, potato salad in enormous bowls, jerk chicken smoking over the grill. Someone strung lights between 2 trees. Music drifted into the warm evening air. At first, the conversations were awkward.
How long have you lived here?
Oh, 7 years.
Really? I'm right across the street.
But something beautiful happens when people stay long enough. Walls soften, laughter grows louder, stories start spilling out between bites of food. Louise talked about raising Sophia alone. Mrs. Chen told stories about teaching piano lessons to 3 generations of kids. Amara admitted she had moved here hoping to find community and quietly feared she never would. As the sun began to set, a light summer rain drifted down. The adults reached for umbrellas, but the children ran straight into it.
Rain! Party!
They splashed across the street, chalk rainbows dissolving beneath their feet. Then someone noticed something above the rooftops, a faint rainbow stretching across the sky. Mrs. Chen counted softly from her porch. 1 house, 2, 3. 20 glowing porch lights lined Magnolia Street. 20 homes, like glowing cups of light beneath a rainbow sky. Calvin stood slowly and lifted his paper cup.
Can I say something?
The street quieted. He looked around at the faces, neighbors who had become something more in a single evening.
For 30 years, I delivered your letters. Good news, bad news, bills, birthday cards.
He paused.
But tonight feels different.
Different? How?
Calvin smiled.
Tonight feels like the first message this street has ever sent to itself.
Cups lifted. Even the quiet neighbors raised theirs. And for the first time, Magnolia Street felt less like 20 houses and more like one living thing. This is the quiet wisdom of the 10 of Cups. Happiness is not built from success alone. It grows where people choose connection over comfort, presence over isolation, community over habit. The rainbow in the card is not magic. It is a promise, a reminder that harmony is not something we stumble upon. It is something we create together. So let me ask you something. Who lives close enough to become part of your happiness? If only someone was brave enough to open the street first.